All right, we are live and back again. I'm Jesse Bergman. I'm back here again with Neil and John. Say hello, guys.
Hi guys.
Hello.
And we are going to do something a little different this week. So we're going to change up the stream a little bit. We're going to have a little fun, and we're going to I'm back here again with we're going to talk about a
Because
couple of
normally
different
we don't
things.
have any fun.
Never. What is
We're gonna
the
change
fun?
it up this week.
That's right. But what we've got going on this week is we're going to be putting together some introductory decks. And so you guys can create these at home if you want. We may be offering these in the future off of our website for free, just the cost of shipping, something like that, to allow you to quickly teach your friends how to play Battle for Solaria, or if you're new to the game, just get into it right away. So we want to do that with all of you. And so with that in mind, Neil and I are going to start laying out some foundations for decks. But all of you watching the stream tonight, you can use the comments section and feel free to add in what your favorite cards are. You think that every new player should maybe get to experience and play with. And so we're going to be using for the Jotune and the Synthien cards, we'll be using everything out of the core set, which is The Battle Begins and Blood, Profit, and Glory. And then, of course, we'll be using Reign of Terror and The Good, the Bad, and the Savage for the Exilarian and the Protellin. So, Neil, let's start. What do you think? What do you think is like the definitive, like, must-have matchup for anybody that would be new to the game to play? Is that Jotune versus Synthien? Is that Jotune versus Protellin? Is it Protellin versus Exilarian? Anything's kind of the sky's the limit, but I kind of think that's a good starting place for something like this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that Jotune versus Synthien is the easiest matchup to enter the game on, right? Like, that's how everybody has been learning the game up to this point. And the Exilarian and the Protellin have a little bit more going on that might be more difficult for brand new players, but we can make those starter decks too.
Sure. So if we're going to start off with this Jotune versus Synthien, the idea here is that we create something that's not the full game. I think we've offered good starter decks for the full game, but just something that offers kind of that first, taste of what Battle for Solaria really is. So I think we got to set a few parameters in deck building here. And the first parameter, I think, is the card count. And I'm kind of leaning towards like 30 card decks. What do you think about that idea?
Yeah, I mean, the card count doesn't make a lot of difference to me personally, as long as we have like the correct like number of playables in there, because obviously we have starter decks built already for the Battle Begins, and they're 60 card decks legal for play. But in a 30 card deck, I don't want to just like have the starter decks that we already have and call it good. I don't know.
Right.
In a 30 card deck, you're gonna see a lot more stuff very often.
Exactly. I think the goal in my mind is to set something up that the player can really see what each faction is about. Really, like I said, really get that kind of appetizer, if you will, of what playing Battle for Solaria is like, without necessarily having the whole game. And again, this is something that I think that our existing player base can use to build these decks at home with their cards that they already have, or new players, like I said, can get into it for just the cost of shipping to send the decks out, just to try the game for that purpose. But do we want to start on the Synthien side or the Jotune side? Do you think we should build these side by side at the same time? What do you think is the best approach to this?
Well, let's just start with the Jotune.
Okay.
Whenever we have a new set come out or new design ideas or anything like that, that's where I always start.
Okay. Wonder why that is. I do too. So it's interesting that we both started in the same place.
For the most part, what the Jotune are trying to do, even among many different deck builds, is similar, right? Like, you can play a bunch of different Jotune decks, but they're all just like want to attack you to death, and that's a very simple concept. It's a very good concept for new players to understand the game, and so it's like a good proactive starting point to building decks.
Sure. Yeah, I'm totally down for that. And I think I do agree with you. I think it's a very good place for us to start the process. So, I build from so many different avenues and paths, and this is kind of a different deck building challenge, I think, for both of us. Do you think the point system should be used as a constraint?
Probably not. Like, the idea of these decks is like just to play well together, right? Like to show off the game.
Yeah, exactly.
That being the case, I don't know that. I don't know what the point amount would be, and I don't know how.
Yeah, well,
how it would affect the game at all.
Just assuming, like first blush glance, if we were going to use points, I would start with just going, okay, well, we're doing half the deck size, so we do half the points cost, right? Like 30 points, 30 cards and 45 points instead of 60 cards and 90 points. But let's see what we come out with. I sometimes I do these experiments just to see where we do deck builds without using the point system, just to see how close they would really adhere to the regular point system in the first place. And sometimes they're wildly out of sync, and other times they're not. So it's always interesting to see how that works out. Like I've seen a lot of draft decks come in oddly right around that 60 point value when you've got a 40 card deck. I mean, that's probably not coincidence, but there is some value to that. So let's get started, I guess. Let's talk a little bit about it. Do you think obviously focus on combatants as the starting point here for the Jotune?
Well, I think to start we should maybe look at the sites.
Okay.
I don't have the old starter list in front of me, but I was thinking about it. How many sites a 30 card deck would need, just in general, Jotune or otherwise.
Right.
And I'm honestly not real sure.
Yeah, I think a good number is probably somewhere in the 10, 8 to 10, maybe 11 range.
I think 11 is probably too many.
Yeah.
Like some of the Jotune decks you play at 60 cards have like 14 sites, right? So
yeah,
and that's true, not all of them, but you're also. Maybe we should start with the combatants because maybe that'll affect the site count. Like, because if we have a 30 card deck full of Gray Harriers, as opposed to a 30 card deck full of like Red Condors or Skyhawks or whatever,
right?
Like a 30 card deck with a bunch of Gray Harriers in it needs like 5 sites. I don't know, something like that.
That's true. You're going to probably have an average Solarium cost on your combatant curve of like 2. So you really don't need much help, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think that I think you can look at it from a couple of different perspectives. I don't necessarily want to these decks to be like they obviously need to have their strengths, but they need to have their weaknesses too. That's part of the balancing process whenever you present these kinds of things. And in theory, if the game is balanced enough, we should be there, but it is potentially possible to make the wrong card decisions in something like this. And we're kind of peeling back the curtain on game development. And when we talk about game development in these kinds of scenarios, like when we build starter decks for The Battle Begins, or when we built starter decks for Reign of Terror and The Good, the Bad, and the Savage, those decks went through this same kind of iteration process where we were trying to figure out what was the best 60 cards to play that didn't provide, ultra consistency, but yet created a fun and engaging gameplay experience. And that's a little trickier process than just trying to, put together the best 60 you can. So,
yeah, the other thing to consider is that our game is inherently not balanced for a 30 card deck. So
right.
and this is all just speculation, but my inkling would be that like synergy decks are way better in 30 card decks than they are in a 60 card deck. So like maybe Warriors is like really good in a 30 card deck, just because they have a higher density of like their important guys. Like I bet Sword of Hrothgar is just really good in 30 card deck if you have 4 copies.
He's probably an all-star. Yeah, I have no doubt that Sword's probably an all-star. I think that Sword could be an all-star. I think that cards like Skyhawk and Bullthorn Warlord could easily be all-stars, in the combatant side. But I also think that, because you're just not going to have the sheer volume of cards to work off of, and the consistency level will be higher, I think that, certain sites are going to be major liabilities compared to, the normal 60-90 build where they would maybe be powerhouses. So I'll be curious to see how this all works out. And, maybe over the next few weeks, we can give them a kind of a peek behind the curtain of what we do on the development side in terms of testing these live on stream and, kind of allowing our users to see, what we do, because, we've seen that in our communities where people are wanting to see what it's like to work on a game like this, not just play it. So this is kind of our first attempt at doing that on a project that we're working on for kind of a future state of the game. So, let's drag out the Jotune cards, Neil, and let's see what comes out of that. Do I need to promote you? Or I think you hosted me, so I think you're good.
Do I need to promote you? Oh, I did promote you. Do I need to kick you? Would that help?
You might need to. You never know.
Where are the cards? They're over here.
Yep. So if you're following along on stream, we want to hear from you. What do you think about this challenge? Do you think there's, do you think it's possible to do this? Is it, do you think the game can be engaging and fun in a 30 card deck version? Do you think that it's a way to teach new players the game, to be able to jump into the mechanics, reduce some of the variance of a normal 60 card deck, and all of the things that kind of go with that? So we definitely want to hear from you. Even if you're coming in after the live stream, comments on the video, great. Let us know. We're excited to embark on this endeavor, and we want to involve you in this process. So.
Okay, so I got out the Jotune and Mercenary cards from.
Okay. I think that's a good starting point.
Starting here. Let's take a look.
So if we search that deck,
I'm just going to combine them for now.
Okay, I think that's fine.
I can search them all at once.
Yep.
Okay. We could put a bunch of catacombs in there. Is that good?
Well, I mean, maybe if we balance all the decks to a late game play state, it could be very possible. That catacombs could be very good.
That's exactly the gameplay experience I think we want, Jesse, where we just like make the Synthien deck super slow so that the Jotune player can play their catacombs and crush them.
That's right. Don't do anything for 9 turns, please, and then do everything. Yeah, no, I don't think that's exactly the output we're wanting to look for. I do think some other rules besides the 30 card limit I'd like to instill is at least try to keep the cards down to no more than 2 of a particular card. I think that there's reasons to do that, but I think that that will reduce some play patterns from emerging, like where you just draw like 4 Gray Harriers in an opening hand and proceed to just stomp the field. So yeah, I think like a single Art of War maybe.
You only want one?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Spencer. What's up, man? We'll try to be very quiet. So If you're just tuning in, we're building a starter deck experience using a limited card pool, meaning that we're going to build a 30 card deck instead of a 60 card deck for this. And we want to hear from you as to what you think would be needed in that. The intention would be to teach new players and give them a very, very good glimpse of Battle for Solaria in a condensed form. So that's kind of what we're trying to do. We'll see if we succeed on that. Yeah, I think One Art of War is fine. I think it shows the power of the card, but yeah, we're not going to have to deal with a ton of them.
How many spoils do you want them to have?
I think 2 spoils, because I think sites are going to get removed really fast. I think that is one area where spoils can help stabilize your board a little bit, because it gives you that consistent Solarium in the condition form. 2 watchtowers is probably good. Well, we were just reading your mind then, Spencer. What can I say? And I think 2 shipyards probably too.
I agree with all of this. I think these are pretty easy starts.
Yeah, I think they're good starting points. I think you could probably go from this point. Sites get a little trickier, but I think you could probably go 1 security post maybe. Unless you really think there's a need for double 3-drop here.
I think it depends a lot on what guys we want to play. Do you want to?
Okay, so maybe
you want to play an Oath Key and?
I think we play 1 Oath Key, maybe. I struggle with this because part of me is oh, well, maybe we should play a couple of warriors and add a Worgana, but maybe we do a Worgana Oath Key Fenris, a 1 of each one of the type 1s. Wouldn't be a bad inclusion.
Let's find the Oath Key. There he is. Out of here, dice.
What do you guys think? They're watching the stream. You think should we go more warrior focused for the Jotune, or should we go more flight focused, or should we just do a kind of a hybrid of the 2? I think they all have merit here. The funny thing is we're already at 1/3 of the deck right here as we sit.
Right. The number of things you get is low. You'll run out of space real fast.
Yeah, I think 1 sword's probably good. Maybe 2.
If we're playing sword, we're playing 2 of them. Oops, those are Organas. Sword by itself is just
Well, I think also the card text you want to show a new player.
Right, its ability is not shown off unless you have multiples.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's
we got
a fair
promo key of that.
Oh, yeah. we gotta have that promo with key. I think a single strength in numbers might have some value.
If you want to play strength in numbers, then we got to play all these little guys.
Yeah, I kind of think it is going the weenie deck list. Can't separate the families is what Spencer says. Fenris got to fight alongside Worgana, so no problem. We'll keep Worgana in the mix for you there, Spence.
I'm gonna do one of these real quick and get a couple evasions.
Yeah, I think that's a hero's boon though. Is that what you're wanting?
Oh, I wanted evasions.
The picture looks. I'm not saying hero's boon's bad in this deck, but
the picture looks very similar on tiny card. There it is.
Yeah. I think that's a good starting point.
Move this over here now, so I put the combatants up here. So what do we got? I'm going to reorganize all this. So all you guys that are paying attention at home are going to be really confused now.
So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 combatants.
Now let's put some more sites in here before we run out of space. I
Yeah,
think we probably want
definitely
both security
I think we
posts.
better look at 2, 3 drops for this, don't you think?
Yeah. Yep. There they are. What we got here 6, 12, 18, 19.
Yep. What do you think about a couple of citadels, or a single citadel at least?
I definitely want one.
Think we add a Bergheim in?
If you think it's cool, I don't think it'll be very good.
Okay.
Let's play some Cloud Falcons or something.
Yeah, I definitely think either Vasad Saboteur or Cloud Falcon would be good here.
I mean, is Vasad good in this deck? I'm not sure. I don't know how much slam it's going to make. It's very difficult to tell.
Yeah, we're not facing off tonight, Jasper. What's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. We're building a 30-card starter deck with the idea to be able to condense the starting games of Sularia down so that new players can just experience a faster version of the game for the sake of getting a feel for what the game plays like and hopefully whetting the appetite to play the bigger game. So we're taking card suggestions in chat. So if you're on chat,
play a Bolthorn.
Feel free to add in what you think we need here.
He's big and flashy.
I think Bolthorn's a good, flashy, cool card to add in. Yeah, for sure.
Let's play some Cloud Falcons. I don't think Fasad's going to be very good.
Okay, let's drop 2 Falcons into the mix.
If you don't care about like the CC points, he's just like 2 more sword shields, kind of. But
it does kind of reinforce the kind of Jotune weenie ideal. But
Falcon's a weenie, and everybody loves.
Yeah, we're kind of leaning on maybe 8 sites here, Jasper. We're at 7 right now. We're not really sure where that's going to fall yet. We're just kind of laying out the framework for the deck right now, if you will.
Instead of playing 2 things, let's play a Cloud Stronghold.
I'm down with that.
Then we can put Itza Traps in the other deck.
Spencer says no Vasad. So,
Hashtag no Vasad.
Hashtag no Vasad. It's like Novasads. Nova's sad. Nova's sad. That's awesome. Unless
you give me a hashtag Team Neil, I'm going to put Vasads in this deck right now.
Uh-oh. now he's leveraging votes. That's not even right.
I'm going to put like 6 of them.
But he did say plus Cloud Stronghold. So I think Spencer is on board with us making that decision. So 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 21, 22, 23, 24. We got room for 6 cards.
Let's try some. I want to put in another site, I think.
Are you?
I think so. I'm just afraid that many games will like.
Or forge? You want to put a forge in?
Or just another citadel. I don't know. Maybe that's not good. Well, let's try it like this. I changed my mind. I talked myself out of it, and you talked me out of it. What do we got? 2, 4, 8, 10 combatants. What do we got for the tactics and conditions suite here? You want to play From Whence?
What about Fire from the Sky? You have enough flyers to support that?
We have 4 flyers.
A 30-card deck. That's not a small number. I think we could add in Red Condors or a Skyhawk to bring that up to 5.
I mean,
and then do a single.
Can we put Grey Harrier in and then put in Fire from the Sky?
Sure. Yeah.
That would be cooler, I think. Grey Harrier is sweet. This deck's gonna be broken.
You think so?
I don't know. Maybe. I honestly don't know. I feel like having the win, like I'm going to be interested to count up the points when we're done and see how it comes up to like half, because I bet this is way more than
Oh yeah, no, Jasper. We decided not to restrict points in this experience just to see if we could create the ideal like introductory experience, because we really don't know when you limit down to 30 cards what's going to happen.
28. Yeah. So
I like a single Bergheim here. Spencer's voting for From Whence.
Okay, let's put in a From Whence and a Bergheim. Let's take out one Fire from the Sky. We'll put in a From Whence, a Bergheim, and a Hero's Boon. How about that?
And he's voting for 2 Harriers. So Spencer's on point with 2 Harriers and a From Whence here.
I'll just play this thing. How many is this? Is this enough? Does it tell me if I grab them all?
I think we're really close.
2, 4. Oh, if I group them all, it'll tell me. That's what it'll do.
Yep. You missed the Watchtowers, though.
30.
That's 30.
This deck might be really good.
We agreed to limit to maximum of 2 copies of a given card, Jasper. So 4 swords would be 4 broken cards in a 30-card deck for sure. But yes, we agree. 4 swords would be very crazy in a 30-card deck.
Do you think 4 swords in a 30-card deck or 8 swords in a 60-card deck is better?
What's that?
Do you think that 4 swords in a 30-card deck or 8 swords in a 60-card deck is better?
Oh, that's a good question. What do you guys think? 8 swords in a 60-card deck. This is a vote on me.
It would be my inkling that, well, in a vacuum where you like always get to play your cards, 8 swords is better, but playing like a 30-card deck that has 4 swords in it and the ability to play them would probably beat a 60-card deck that had 8 swords in it, because like you wouldn't always draw the consistent Solarian, but I guess you have like 4 copies of your sites in that deck too, so maybe, I don't know. Somebody tell me in chat or later in the comments.
Jasper says 30-card deck, 4 swords and 30-card deck.
So let's start here. This deck might be really good. It also might just instantly lose to It's a Trap, but
well, okay, so maybe It's a Trap shouldn't be in the starter experience. What do you guys think? Is that's a hotly debated card, right? Like, is that a starter experience card? I think it's really cool. I think it's one of those cards that people see and instantly light up when they see it. So it's a good question.
Yeah, maybe 1 is the correct number of It's a Trap. I'm just gonna delete this like pile of cards over here just so we can reload later if we need to.
Yep. We should save that deck though. I'm gonna save that deck that you built.
Okay, you save it. I'm gonna get out the other cards. Okay. 1 Blood, Profit, and Glory set. Search. Synthien. Okay, I'm going to move this deck over here. Now let's start on this one. Yeah, Jasper's right. The whole reason that I put in the 1 cloud is so that you can beat the 1 It's a Trap in the other deck.
Yeah, there is a Cloud Stronghold. Spencer's leaving us, so he's not going to vote on the synth. So if the synth are bad, it's on Spencer.
I already put it here.
He said he'll be back later to see how this all plays out. But Jasper's still with us here, so I think we got to start with what are like kind of the perceived power cards for the Synthien.
How many Mastermindings are we going to play? Dose?
Yeah, that's a good question. Do you think just 1?
I think that if they get 2 spoils, we get 2 Masterminding. Just like it is better, but it's similar enough that like I think it's probably fine.
Okay, I think one Centropolis.
I agree. The other deck gets 2 evasions. We get 1 Centropolis. That's the trade-off.
Yep, I think that's a fair number, and I do agree 1 It's a Trap is fair here.
Let's put in 1 Tack Beam.
Think just 1?
Yeah, just one. This card's nuts.
What's the matter?
Yeah.
No, of course not. No Ferdinand, Jasper. We're not going to put a one-of restricted card in a 30-card deck. Yeah, no problem. I think one Projectus is fair too. I Projectus
you don't want to play
creates a lot of bad combat interaction.
Okay.
I feel like only one Projectus is.
Okay, we'll play one Projectus. Here's a Projectus.
Yeah.
Here's a this.
Just because he gets such poor combat interaction, you know.
It's hard to beat sometimes.
Like, it is, and for a new player in particular, it could be a frustrating experience. So, I'm definitely down with two feedbacks in the list.
Okay, I like that. Let's play a Novum. How about that?
Yeah, I like a Novum.
Novum instead of the second Projectus. And then we can still play.
I like a Novum.
Do two of these.
I think two prototypes is good. I don't necessarily think we need the perimeter alert, but maybe we do.
You probably do. This is like a Battle Begins Blood Prophet Glory experience where just because perimeter alert system is bad now in testing doesn't mean that it wasn't great in the time.
That's true. Yeah,
that's spoilers for everyone, especially you, Dustin. Perimeter alert system is not good.
Yeah, I don't know when Dustin's going to catch it, but you added.
He'll watch it. I know he will.
What do you think, Jasper? What do you think would be like the definitive if you're first time playing Synthien you want to experience here?
There it is.
Or if somebody else is on stream besides Jasper, I don't mean to call out just Jasper. I don't know who all's watching right now, so if you don't say something in chat, I don't know you're watching. But yeah, I think that's the kind of site curve we're talking about here. I think a Solarian processing plan is probably good. I like
we're
the experimental weapons base, but it's a trap. I don't think I want to jump into satellites in the starter experience. How about a couple excavators? They kind of reinforce that Solarium's important to you.
I like this card. There's not like just Johnnies everywhere to eat him. It's probably pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interference for the one interference for the one Art of War. I mean,
pretty brutal.
Novum's a good card. Or not Novum, Animus. Yeah. How come there's not promo Animuses in here and there's a promo Oathkey in the other one?
There it is. Top left.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. If there's a retail,
I think go, I like the idea of maybe a couple of assault synthoids here. I think Hecaton's a reachable number, though, Jasper.
I'm putting a Hecaton in this deck. I'm not putting two in, but I'm going to put in one.
Yeah, I think one Hecaton. I think
it's because he's so sweet. Look at how sweet he is.
And having a carrot on the stick that like somebody's like, really excited to try to reach for, I think it's really cool.
This thing may or may not have killed Oathkey. We don't even know.
Yeah.
Look at it. It's stepped on him or something.
Oathkey may or may not have killed that one. You just don't know.
No, we know he killed it. We just don't know if he survived.
That's true.
Terminator.
I think since we got some flyers on the opposite side, I think some specialists are needed, but I don't know if I want to load them up. And maybe double Spartan Terminator is good here.
I think Terminator is very good.
Well, I know the card's very good. I'm more talking about from a gameplay experience perspective.
Yeah.
What about a shield generator for a site?
I think I would rather have this. Oh, I put it in my hand. I think I'd rather have the second processing plant. And a shield. Like, shield generator is okay. Maybe it's good. We don't care about the points at all. It doesn't. It's probably good. Okay.
I'm talking you into it.
Yeah. Did I put in the other thing? You wanted a weapons facility, right? There's a lot of sites.
Yeah, but I think we're almost probably pretty good on sites now.
2, 3, 4, 5. How many sites does the other one have? 9? This has 9? Is that right?
Yeah, I think it's 9 and 9. Something. It was close to that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, 9.
So what do you think? Should we do assault
from West
synthoid or should we do hydro reavers, guys? Big robots, he said. Jasper says big robots.
Jasper asked if there's anything to kill the Hecaton. There's
Jasper
a
in the
Frumwinds
Jotune deck for the Hecaton. It won't kill it, but it'll definitely bounce it.
Frumwinds is a good answer to Hecaton. Like if they're doing more than playing a Hecaton on their turn, and you're not time walking in with the Frumwinds, you're going to lose anyway. So it's not like
right.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Plus, you've got Fenris that can stand up against Hecaton with Cloud Fortress and kill it outright. So there's some combat interaction between Fenris and Hecaton there. So I think there's some good answers to Hecaton for the Jotune. Could be wrong on that.
Put in 2 Geysers and 2 Hecatons.
Yeah, no. But we could do a harp here.
I think Hero's Boon is good.
Yeah, I think Hero's Boon's good.
I like a harp. Harp's cool. Matt Greenleaf will be happy.
Shout out to Matt. Where are we at on total card count right now?
I don't know. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26.
26, okay. So I think... so there's a couple of questions I have in my mind as far as what to add in. We could add in system scrambles here. We could add in flares here. We could add in defense override here. We also have some room either for putting in assault synthoid or hydro reaver. Jasper thinks assault synthoid is good.
I mean, yeah. I mean, not counting points, assault synthoid is probably a better card than hydro reaver.
Let's drop that in. We still got some flyer defense with the Spartan Terminators if you need it. Just run 1 assault synthoid, or should we run 2?
I was hoping that we could put some tactics in here, just all guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many guys do we have in their deck?
That's more than 10.
Well, good. They're Jotune. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 combatants in the other deck. I think this deck should have less combatants in the other deck.
Okay. Well, so maybe we cut a Spartan Terminator out. Make room for more tactics and conditions.
I mean, this is probably okay. Harp is essentially a tactic.
Yeah, that's true. It's a decent body.
If we put in systems, if we put in flares, we should do flares and system scramble. Otherwise, we can do some split of defense overrides and system scrambles.
Let's do flares and system scrambles. I like that. What do you guys think, Jasper, or anybody else on the stream? We want flare system scramble here, defense override in its place instead. Or do we run an interference?
The one of interference is really cheesy. I don't like that very much. They'll just get their Art of War sometimes, and it'll be good.
We got to vote for system scramble from Jasper. So then, do we go the flares route, Jasper, or do we add defense override instead of the flares? I think we're right at 30.
I counted 31. Am I a dummy? I'm just gonna do this. It'll tell me because the computer's smarter than me. Yeah.
No, it's just faster, but it is 31. You're right. So I think we cut one of the.
Cut an excavator. Cut a Solarium flares.
Yeah, I think Solarium flares could be pretty brutal in 2 of with the feedbacks. Yeah, I'm with you, Jasper. I agree. I don't think defense override has as much value as it does in normal gameplay. It's a great card in regular constructed, but I think it's a card people will want to experience in a full 60-90 situation. All right, so we're going to save this guy out. Should we move on to Protoan or Exilarian next?
I think Exilarian is going to be the most difficult, so maybe just start with Protoan and see where we go. We got about 20 minutes left of the stream, unless you want to go over for it.
No, we're fine. We can revisit it in a couple of weeks too. So,
what is this?
Jasper did end up voting for one flare there. So we can look at it and make a call. What do you guys want to do next? You guys want to do Protoan or do you want to do Exilarian next?
There we go. Okay. Why is this like this? In the bag over here, it had them listed as red player and blue player playmat instead of Protoan cards.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah. Oh. Why is that's very strange. I screwed it up.
Way to go.
Yeah, I'm the best. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. I need those hashtags.
Those have got to be different, right? Yeah, that's the Exilarian cards.
Right. But when I looked at it in the bag, it wasn't loaded yet, so it didn't show that it wasn't Protoan.
Gotcha.
So I'm just going to set those aside for now and hope that it's all right now. Ugh. Not my day. There we go, Megalith. You get back in that stack. Okay. Now. Protoan cards. Well,
yeah,
let's find some lifebloods. We're on the plan of putting just 2 of these in all the things, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think we can start with definitely. I like a couple of cards here for showing off the Protoan synergies. One of them is Lifeblood, obviously, but the other one is I like Metamorphosis Chamber for the 1-drop.
Instead of Death Spore? Or alongside Death Spore?
I don't know yet. Maybe we do 4 1-drops. It seems really good.
Yeah.
In a 30-card deck experience. I guess the question is, are we designing this to play against the Jotune deck and the Synthien deck? I mean, equally, or are we designing this to play against the Exilarian deck only? I think those are some questions I have. What do you guys think? Would you rather see these experiences be able to play against any of the factions or just specific matchups? Because I think you can design in 2 different ways here. Deck design in 2 different ways.
I mean, ideally, I think we would want it to be universal.
Yeah, I agree. It's a little more difficult to do that.
Right. Like we were talking about a little bit before, the synergy decks are better in the 30-card format than the generic decks. And all the Protoan decks are synergy decks, right? They just have all kinds of stuff going on.
Right.
So they may be more powerful, but I don't know how much or...
Well, let's do a split. Let's do 1 Metamorphosis, 1 Death Spore. I don't really want to end up in the 3 to 4 1-drop range.
Okay. That's fine with me. Let's find that Death Spore. I just had one out here. There it is.
I think everybody... Would you guys, on stream, would you rather play the stompy, big creature, type 1 matter Protoan deck, or would you rather play some sort of token variation? What do you think is more fun? Keep in mind that because of what we're thinking about, there's probably not going to be token cards. That's one of the challenges we'd have, is how to distribute token cards with this deck, like we would normally do. We might be able to give out 1 or 2 tokens, but I'm not sure we're going to have the ability to provide somebody with 8 or 9 tokens. And I think that's one thing that definitely... I think we can split the 1 and 2 drops down the middle. So 1 Sublair, 1 Hatchery. I think I think that's okay.
Just have the like Highlander sights set.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Because there's 2 3s and
I don't know if that's a bad thing, is it?
I think we want it to be somewhat focused. So maybe like we end up on like 3 2-drops or 3 3-drops and 1 4-drop instead of going like way big like we were at the other teams.
So let's go 2 Ashfalls and 1 projector.
Okay.
I like the idea of like playing more into the token sacrifice realm. Or just the sacrifice outlet realm.
Let me ask. There it is. Oh. That. Okay. Where's the other thing? There it is. Like just do something like that for sites.
Yeah, I think that's okay. Universal against Spencer's voting for universal against any faction.
Yeah,
I think that's a good call.
I agree.
Yep.
I'm only going to put 1 Serana in this deck.
I'm cool with that. 1 Serana is cool. I think 1 Tricentis is probably all you need to.
You only want 1?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
He gives a lot of tempo. I think we could go 2 Timorous Queens if you wanted to, though.
Okay. I like that card a lot. Wherever the hell it is. There it is.
I would say maybe 2.
You want to go like...
What do you think? You guys think showing quick off?
This card's like fair. You want to do like the set of type ones like we did at Jotune?
Spencer wants to find the middle ground but lean towards big heavies, so maybe a Dragos.
Put 1 per 6 and 1 Dragos. I don't want to put a Scobin in the starter deck.
Yeah, I don't think so either. What about rights? 1 or 2 rights? What do you guys think? Surrender those tokens to make your baddie bigger?
I put in 1 Bloodlust to match the Art of War, kind of. Just to have that same feel.
Yeah.
Right of Domination is a card that, like, I don't... The reason that I would be against the Right of Domination is not because I don't think it's a great card, but because I think, like, it's...
hard to understand?
Yeah. For duplicate, it's, like, one of the cards that has, like, the most text, and it's, like, hard to understand of any text in the game. And,
I definitely can get behind that concept. I think a Megalithid's good here.
Oh, okay.
I think that's card is an easy card to understand.
To play in this deck.
What's that?
I worry that this might be difficult to actually play in this deck.
Well,
it doesn't have like a ton of token production. I guess it has a Terminus Queen. Whoops.
Yeah. I mean, I think just combining with the surrender outlets through Lifebloods, you know, you're going to have a pretty good chance of at least making 4 or 5 Solarium and probably have a couple of tokens on the field. If we're really worried about it, we could do 1 Hive Queen or 2 Hive Queens just to make 2 tokens that way. I know,
How do you feel about Frenzy?
Speaking, yeah, I like Frenzy. I wouldn't want to double. Well, we could double up Frenzy. Let's double up Frenzy. This would be like one of those cards that we would look at in development as we're testing these decks. What's that?
Frenzy is like an easy to understand card and like something that people like to do.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. It's got a lot of gameplay implication.
So we got 8 slots left. I don't hate a Hive Queen. I actually do hate Hive Queen, but I think it's a very good starter deck card. Can't get this anywhere. There we go.
One day I'm going to build a deck that proves you.
I'm down on Hive Queen.
What about an Abomin or two?
So that would put us equal guys as the Jotune. I think that's probably okay.
Yeah.
The thing
Well,
about
the other
this,
option is go up to like a Mount Kalara or an Acid Pool. You could add more sites that do things for your guys.
I don't think
Acid
that
Pool
Mount
would-
Kalara is a good starter deck card.
Yeah.
You want
What
Evasion?
about a Joe's Explosives here?
You think that's a good starter deck card?
I don't know. Is it? What do you guys think?
It's like complicated and not very fun to play against. That's my
Yeah, I
2
mean,
cents.
there's that, I guess. I mean, that's true.
Do we want
What
to
about a
put
single
Evasions
Kaiser
in
here?
for the Centropolis matchup?
Well, I would put Mind Shells in. I'd do 2 Mind
Of
Shells.
course, yeah.
Mind Shell. I'd go in faction over.
Yeah. I'm being dumb.
Same cost, and it's a turn sooner in playability. Maybe 2 Mind Shells. I mean, we only have 1 evasion.
What?
You have a lot less utility here.
Yeah. So I think Evamid's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's simple enough. What do you guys think? Are we missing something you think is just imperative for this deck?
I think we should play the other Tricentis.
Think so?
Yeah. This is a cool card. Like, it's like a card that you have to work for it to be high impact, and it shows off both halves of like the team, right? Like the sacrifice thing is very important to it, and it makes tokens, but like by itself, it's kind of whatever.
Do you think we should add in an Acid Pool?
Yeah, I was just gonna make the suggestion that we go like a little deeper in sites, maybe, and cut an Avomid or something, or one of the Tricentis I just added something, because while the first 2 things we did were Jotune, who loves their combatants, and Synthien, who loves their tactics and stuff, like the thing that's cool about Protoans is the sites, right? Like all their sites do cool stuff, and like Acid Pool is kind of a sweet one.
Yeah, I could get behind an Acid Pool here.
$28 cards.
2 cards left, huh? Okay. Well, what about I mean, yeah, I'm with you too, Jasper. I think Megalith is going to be really easy to play here with the token production that's in the deck. Especially when Megalith
makes it a lot better.
Yeah, and especially when Megalith it actually is released with his correct costs, not at the alpha cost. So, spoiler alert for any of you, since we're closing down Reign of Terror, and it's going to be released here in the next few months, Megalith will be a card that has a 7 Solarium cost in Omega, and not the 9 Solarium you have in the Alpha Edition right now. So, get ready to play Megalith. He's a good card. Fun to play. Do you think it hurts to play a second? Well, second Serana could be pretty bad here.
Yeah, Serana leads to like not very fun games sometimes. Like she's a great card and very important for like the real format, but if you just like stick a Serana on turn 2, which may happen in this deck, even on turn 1, it's very difficult for your opponent to play the game. But with 1 in the deck, I don't think that will happen the majority of games, and so like it's fine. But
let's look at them. Let's look at the mercs. Can we give him a heavy hitter merc like a Verker or something?
Yeah.
Or give him an It's a Trap.
Or a learner.
No, we're not putting a restricted card in the starter decks.
Can we put a Furtim in this deck? That would make this deck better. I think I like Verker the best. He's like simple and kind of fun. What?
as well.
Johnny's like way too good for starter decks.
Yeah.
Especially since our first two decks have like a bunch of Gray Harriers and Slayum Excavators in them. Like
Some of those guys that Johnny just eats to get big. Yeah. Although the Synthien have a nice way to counter him, the Jotune would be they'd be scrambling against a Johnny.
Right. They have like 2 evasions and a from whence, all of which are not great answers to Johnny.
Yeah.
They just like get to flip their single Art of War and get him one time. What?
We could add another It's a Trap here. If we wanted.
I think I would rather have like one of the Protoan cards than It's a Trap, just because.
Well, so we need one more card to go in here, right?
Yeah, let's put in the Rite of Let's put in a single Rite of Domination.
I like that.
I wanted to like add to the tactics conditions here because there's just not very many, and I don't want them to have 4 evasions. That's either going to be dead or great. And so this is probably fine.
Okay.
I think this is pretty close to what we want, ish.
What do you guys think? Like this deck? Want to see us make some changes to it? Let us know in the comments. We, that's what we're doing this for. Is you guys get to help us in developing a starter deck experience. So that's what we're working on here tonight, and we've got 3 of the 4 done in this stream. We didn't get to the Axolarian tonight, but what we'll do is revisit them in 2 weeks when we come back. And then what we'll do is we'll start playing and showing you a little bit of how the development process works. So, what will happen is Neil and I will start testing these starter decks against each other on stream. And you guys can add in your thoughts and participate in the development discussions in terms of what cards to add in, take out, what were the all-stars in a particular game, learn a little bit about some of the stuff we track in development so that you can see how we go about balancing. Obviously, we're doing this in a much smaller scale than the full game itself, but we're so focused on developing the small game or the big game that doing something like this, we need something like tonight to be able to do that. So, other than that, I think.
Hang on, real quick.
I'll do is I will release these lists. So if you want to play them over the next couple of weeks and provide feedback, we would love that. So
the Jotune deck is 47 points.
What's that?
The Jotune deck is 47 points.
Okay.
Almost. I'm just counting them just to see how close they came. This 47 is a lot more than. Well, no, that's just about right. Yeah. So
about half. Yeah, it's pretty close.
This one's 49. Synthien came out at 49, so 2 points more. And finally,
he'd be 3.
Yeah. This one came out at exactly 45.
Yeah. So I told you, it's a weird phenomenon that happens even in like when we were doing some early draft testing with Cube Draft, like we were looking at like whether or not the decks would be significantly over, if the deck was 2/3 of the normal size, would it be significantly over the 2/3 point for the points cost when we were doing initial like Cube Draft testing? And the reality was that they were all within 4 or 5 points of being right on the money. So it's interesting. We've done the exact same thing here. We paid no attention to the points. We just tried to build 30-card decks that we thought would be fun to interact against. Now, we have no idea yet if these decks are going to work. But
my first draft experience at PretzCon a couple of years ago, my 40-card deck was 96 points.
Well, okay.
But these came out really good. I'm surprised and happy with that.
Yeah. No. So I think, if you guys want to think about what we're going to be looking at for the Solarian in the coming month, or the coming stream in 2 weeks from tonight, which would be Tuesday the 31st. You know what? I am on vacation that night. We might have to do our stream early or do something different.
Or we're just going to have a stream with just me, and then we'll get 1,000 viewers.
Well, sure. I mean, if you and John want to pick up the stream while I'm on vacation, you guys go right for it.
Maybe we can get Jasper to play me or something.
Yeah, Jasper, you want to jump into stream 2 weeks from tonight?
Play some starter decks?
Yep. So it can be Team Jasper and Team Neil. Quickly eliminate the scrub from this stream.
No, we wouldn't be anywhere without you.
I know. Well, but we definitely appreciate you guys all jumping in tonight and participating. Obviously, we want to do more stuff like this. So if you want to see more deck building, whatever, the idea is here is kind of the sky's the limit in terms of what we're going to do. I do think we can have some fun with this and maybe test some untested Sularia concepts in the future, maybe some alternate modes of play. Some of that other stuff, and leverage these nights as an opportunity to kind of, like I said, peel the curtain back. Jasper says if you stream a little later, he could join.
Okay. I'll talk to you about it at testing, Jasper, and we'll see if we can figure something out.
Yep, but we definitely appreciate you all tuning in for the stream tonight. We've got 3 decks saved into the mods. I will do my best to get those deck lists put together and attached to the comments section of the videos post stream. I'll try to get them up by tomorrow night. I'll also post the deck lists in our Facebook community as well as our Slack community. So depending on where you get your news on Sularia, you'll find those things there. And we'll be back in touch with everybody in 2 weeks, except for me. I will be on vacation, so I'll be a month out for you guys. But outside of that, I think we're good to go. Thank you so much, everyone, for jumping in. If you like the content, just hit the like button. It tells us we're doing the right jobs. We can earn your subscription. That's awesome, too. We love new subscribers, and we'll see you all soon. Thanks again.
See y'all later.